Hey, what's up everybody? It's Jonathan and welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going to be doing a quick comparison between the S6 and the S6 Active in a video I like to call beauty versus function. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So starting with the S6, because that's the more premium version of these two smartphones when it comes down to build quality, you're going to get a more attractive phone with the S6, being that it comes in many more colors that are much more suitable for your liking, such as white, black or black sapphire. You can also get a gold phone, which is actually like a platinum gold, and it looks really nice. And you can also get a blue phone, depending on your country and if they offer it at this time. The S6 is available on all 4 major US carriers, and you can also pick it up globally, an unlocked version straight from Samsung, and use it pretty much anywhere where you want to. The S6 Active is an AT&T exclusive, but if you're already an AT&T customer, you can go ahead and purchase one of these things full price and have it unlocked for global use in case you want to travel and use it on a different network. Keep in mind though, it is GSM only. The Galaxy S6 is slimmer, it's shorter, it's not as wide, and it's definitely lighter than the S6 Active. But all that comes at a cost. You see, the S6 is constructed of glass on the front and the back, and if you drop it, you're bound to break something. Whether it's the back panel or the front panel, something is going to shatter. I proved that in my Galaxy S6 drop test video, and if you guys didn't catch that video, I'll link it in the description of this video. When it comes down to the actual design of the S6, you're looking at Gorilla Glass 4 on the front and back with an aluminum trim to go around the sides, and even the buttons are done in aluminum and they're actually separated this time around, so instead of having one volume rocker, you have individual volume up and down buttons as well as your power button on the right. Now with the Galaxy S6, you're looking at your 3.5mm headphone jack placement on the bottom as well as your speaker, and then of course your micro USB ports down there as well. Everything else between these two phones pretty much stays the same except for your headphone jack and your speaker placement. On the Active, the speaker is on the back, and then your 3.5mm headphone jack is actually located on the top of the phone. So the smartest thing to do is throw a case on your S6. Well, by the time you throw a case on your Galaxy S6, you now pretty much have the same dimensions, depending on the case, as the S6 Active. So if you don't want to get the Active because you think it's too bulky, well, by the time you throw a case on the S6, you pretty much have the Active, and you don't have to put a case on the Active. It's a ruggedized phone, which I'll cover in just a minute. Now, there's a few other minor physical differences between these two phones. The S6 features a solid home button, a physical home button, and it also has the touch capacitive multitask button and then the back button, but it's pretty much built into the display, even though they're not on-screen buttons. With the S6 Active, you're looking at 3 physical buttons that actually can be pressed down all the way, and they don't have a backlighting effect at all. But with those buttons comes a feature that the S6 Active does not have, and that's the fingerprint scanner. So if security is important to you, then you might want to look at the S6 rather than the S6 Active. However, I find the fingerprint sensor to be perfectly usable on the S6. I just don't really need it. I don't need maximum security on my phone. My phone's always with me. If I lose it, I'll just go on Google and wipe my phone. So switching things over to the S6 Active, the back is actually constructed of like a rubberized plastic material, making it more durable to drops. So if you drop your phone continuously and you don't use a case, the S6 Active is more suitable for you because it's going to survive more of those drops. On the front, you have Gorilla Glass 4, as well as those 3 physical buttons on the bottom, giving it a very ruggedized feel and look for your day-to-day task. On the back of the Galaxy S6 Active, you're going to find 4 screws. Those are actually there for cosmetic purposes only. If you unscrew them, the back panel isn't going to come off or anything like that. It just gives it a more rugged feel. It does have an IP68 rating, meaning that it's shockproof, drop-proof, dust-proof, and many other things. So it's going to be able to take a beating. And that's one thing I love about this phone. It's actually waterproof up to 1.5 meters for 30 minutes, and it's fully capable of taking underwater pictures. Now, like I previously said, the S6 Active is wider, it's thicker, it's taller, and yes, it's more bulkier than the S6, but all that comes with a purpose. It packs a 3,500 milliamp hour battery, and that's amazing. This battery lasts at least 1.5 hours to 2 hours more than the S6. And if anybody has ever used the S6, they know the major downfall to that phone is the battery. During my testing with the S6, I was getting anywhere between 3 to 3.5 hours of screen on time, and that is terrible. With the S6 Active, I'm getting no less than 4.5 hours of on-screen time, and that's pretty awesome. Actually, I got all the way up to 6 hours, and that was probably the best day that I've gotten yet on the S6 Active. But for this phone and what it can do and the power behind it, it's phenomenal. Now, both of these phones feature the same exact camera, which is a 16 megapixel camera with the aperture of f1.9, and you also have an f1.9 aperture camera on the front, and they both take identical pictures when it comes to the quality. Both feature OIS and both feature 4K video recording, so you're not missing anything on either one of these phones. So if camera is one of your things, I personally would get the S6 Active because now you have an underwater camera as well as the same camera found on the S6. Both of these phones come with wireless charging, NFC, the heart rate monitor, your IR blaster. Everything is the same except for the fingerprint scanner. So you're not really missing anything on the Active that you get on the S6 other than a little bit more security. As far as internals goes, you're looking at the same octa-core Exynos chipset that's found in the S6, and you're not going to notice any performance difference at all between these two phones. So whether you're gaming, whether you're doing some serious multitasking, or whether you're just using your phone as a phone, they're going to perform identical, and I found no difference whatsoever in my testing. Now, one area that I did see a minor difference in is the screen. Even though they both feature the same 5.1-inch Quad HD display, I found the S6 to get a little bit brighter. Even though the brightness kind of washed out some of the colors a little bit, I found the displays on both of these phones to be superb, and you're not really going to notice that much of a difference unless you have an S6 and an S6 Active side by side. So when we're talking about software, you're looking at Android 5.02 on both of these devices, running the latest version of TouchWiz, and there's really no difference at all. The main difference is going to be the activity button on the S6 Active, and then on the S6 you get a few more modes within the camera app. So when you launch the camera app and you go under modes and then you go to download modes, you're gonna find a lot more modes on the S6 than you are on the S6 Active. And this includes things like creating a GIF and things like that. With the S6 Active though, you do get an aqua mode feature, so it makes it easier to take underwater pictures. Since you cannot use the touchscreen underwater, it allows you to use the activity button for a shutter release for the camera, or the volume buttons for a video record button. So you just tap that, you start recording, tap it to stop recording. It's pretty cool. So to wrap this thing up, who is the S6 for? The S6 is gonna be for people that care more about security due to the fingerprint scanner, someone that relies more on the looks of their phone rather than the functionality of it because it's a much more premium design phone. It's also going to be for people that are not powerhouse users. Due to that smaller battery, you're going to have to stay plugged in the majority of the day versus the time that you're going to be off the charger because it only has a 25-50 milliamp hour battery. And that ginormous processor within the S6 and the S6 Active, despite it being more energy efficient, it's still a power hungry processor. Also, if you care more about accessories and phone cases and just different things that you can do with your phone, even skins, at this point I would say get the S6 because there's a lot more accessories available for that particular model. So who is the S6 Active for, other than me? The S6 Active is for people that want the most out of their smartphone. It's waterproof, it's drop proof, it's shock proof, it has a bigger battery, it's going to last you longer. So if you like to do a lot of multitasking, a lot of gaming, you're gonna get the most out of your battery with the S6 Active. It's also for people who are on AT&T and have not purchased an S6 yet. If you have not yet upgraded on AT&T to get the S6, or you're thinking about getting the S6, at least go to the store and give the Active a try. I promise you, you will not be disappointed when it comes to performance of this phone. Later on, I'm sure they'll release skins and they'll have cases and stuff like that so you can cover up the ugly nature of the S6 Active. But as far as I'm concerned, the matte black version is definitely the way to go. It looks like a phone. It doesn't look like a gorgeous phone, doesn't look like the iPhone or the S6 or the HTC M9, but it just looks like a phone. It looks like a phone that can take a beating, and that's what I'm in it for. Well guys, I hope this video helped you take a closer look between the S6 and the S6 Active. They're very similar phones, have a lot of the same features, but they're designed for two totally different people. One's gonna give you beauty, it's gonna give you a more premium feel, it's gonna give you a more premium experience when it comes to the physical design. The other is strictly meant for functionality. You're not gonna get that fancy fingerprint sensor, but you're gonna get some super ruggedness, and you're gonna get an all-day battery, which sold me right off the bat. If you guys enjoyed this video, drop me a thumbs up, leave me a comment in the section below, let me know what you thought. Go ahead and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Follow me on all my social media connections, and I'll talk to you guys in the next video. Peace.